No one tells you this uncomfortable truth. Sometimes the reason someone comes back has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with unfinished emotional control. You've probably lived this story. Someone leaves your life. Maybe they say they need space. Maybe they say they're confused. Maybe they slowly disappear without fully closing the door. You spend weeks replaying every conversation in your head, wondering what you did wrong. Wondering why someone who once seemed so close suddenly feels like a stranger. You finally start accepting that it's over. Then out of nowhere, they come back. A message. A call. A random "I was thinking about you." Maybe even an apology. For a moment, it feels like validation. Like you weren't crazy. Like the connection was real. But here's the psychological part most people don't understand. People don't always return because they miss you. Sometimes they return because they miss the feeling they had when you wanted them. Human attachment is deeply tied to validation loops. When someone knows you're emotionally invested in them, it creates a quiet form of psychological power. Not necessarily malicious power. Often it's unconscious. But the brain notices it. Your attention, your affection, your emotional availability, all of it becomes a source of reassurance for them. When they leave, that reassurance disappears. And suddenly something inside them feels unsettled. This is where attachment psychology comes in. Many people operate with avoidant attachment patterns. They crave connection, but the moment things become emotionally intense, they feel trapped. Their nervous system interprets closeness as pressure. So they pull away. Distance gives them relief. But distance also removes the validation they were receiving from you. And that's when the strange cycle begins. When you're chasing them, they feel overwhelmed. When you stop chasing, they feel the loss. So they come back. Not necessarily because they suddenly discovered deep love, but because the emotional balance changed. Now here's the harder truth most people avoid admitting. The reason this cycle works is because someone allows it. When someone leaves and comes back multiple times, the dynamic often isn't about fate or destiny. It's about inconsistent boundaries. People say they want clarity, loyalty, commitment. But when someone returns after disappearing, they often welcome them back without addressing the original behavior. Why? Because loneliness can be louder than self-respect. And the human brain is addicted to emotional relief. If someone caused you pain but then suddenly returns with warmth, your brain releases dopamine. It feels like hope. But chemically, it's the same loop that makes intermittent rewards addictive. Unpredictable affection is more psychologically gripping than stable affection. That's why situationships can feel more intense than healthy relationships. Now let's talk about something people rarely say out loud. Men and women often process emotional separation very differently. Many men experience the breakup immediately. The silence hits fast. The absence is loud. The emotional weight arrives early. Women, on the other hand, often process the breakup gradually. They start detaching emotionally before the relationship officially ends. By the time the breakup happens, part of them has already been preparing for it. But here's where the reversal sometimes happens. If the man stops chasing, disappears emotionally, and genuinely moves forward, curiosity can appear. Because attraction often grows in the presence of uncertainty. When someone expected to have emotional access to you, and suddenly that access disappears, their mind starts asking questions. Why isn't he reaching out? Did he move on? Did I lose something valuable? That curiosity can reopen emotional doors that were previously closed. But again, this doesn't automatically mean love. Sometimes it's just the human mind reacting to a shift in power. And that realization can be painful. Because many people wait months, sometimes years, hoping someone will return and prove that the connection mattered. But if someone only comes back when they feel your absence, and leaves again once they feel your presence, the pattern tells you everything you need to know. The relationship was never about building stability. It was about managing emotional tension. Now here's the shift that most people resist hearing. Closure rarely comes from the person who left. It comes from the moment you stop needing them to return. Not because you hate them. Not because you're pretending you never cared. But because you finally understand something deeper about human behavior. When someone truly values a connection, they protect it. They don't repeatedly test its survival. And when someone walks away, the most psychologically powerful response isn't revenge, manipulation, or emotional games. It's silence with self-respect. Because when you stop trying to prove your worth to someone, two things happen. Either they realize your value too late, or they never realize it at all. And the uncomfortable truth is this. Both outcomes teach the same lesson. Sometimes the person who comes back isn't the one who deserves another chance. Sometimes they're just the final reminder of why you needed to move forward in the first place.